ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Under C. Right over here, it's the Smurf princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm gonna not make that joke. And take the compliment. Yes, lips are shiny blue today. We'll say I'm Smurfette.
Yeah,
That might not be a good thing for me.
You're blue and tiny. That's what you are. You're blue and tiny.
And
You're
the only girl in the town. I am doing great, Andre. You know what I did today?
What's that?
I did a back day.
Ooh.
It felt so good. Because it was the first time in a very long time that I've been able to do anything in the gym without physical freaking pain.
Nice.
Victory. We will take it. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a workout in today too. This morning went and took some bottles to the bottle depot, got some groceries, made some spaghetti for supper. It's a good day.
Sounds like a good day.
It was.
I had beef and rice for dinner.
Yummy.
Yeah.
You've had my spaghetti sauce. You know it's good.
It is good. It is tasty.
There you go. Yeah. It's been a good day. Good Monday. A good Monday as it happens, but Mondays are my Sundays. So, yeah.
I've always had a pretty good relationship with Mondays. It's Tuesdays that are we're iffy. We have a rocky relationship, us on Tuesdays.
Well, Tuesdays are my Mondays now, so.
That's probably why you dislike them.
Every day's it's just another day down towards the next weekend is what it is.
Fair enough. Because that means more wrestling. Typically.
Yeah, more wrestling. So as we record this, we are 3 days away from Andre month. That starts on August 1st, an Andre Day on August 10th. We're getting that much closer. So
a little bit, inch by inch. I love that you gave me so much shit when I was like, I want a month. Here I am, just letting you live your best life.
The only day I'm gonna celebrate really is on August 9th, because I'm gonna be hanging out with you guys the day before my birthday. So that's when the only day I'm really gonna celebrate this month.
That's true. Top talent. We're gonna have some fun.
Yes, we are. But we're not here to talk top talent. We're not here to talk about my birthday month. We're here to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for checking us out, whether it's on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Bound Backbreaker Video. Thank you so very much for joining us here. You can please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please share us out to all your friends, family, all those just conflicted people in your life that are just trying to figure out all these weird things in this world. Don't forget to share us out to them. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Sounded like Dino there, didn't I?
Wow. A Flintstones reference. Whoa.
I know, right? We just dated ourselves.
Somebody's old.
You?
You're older than me.
Hey, but
I'm still a young felt.
According to some,
I'm still a young felt 36. So,
do I look it according to some though?
No, oh, definitely not.
Debatable.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
So we're gonna talk about the G1 Climax days 3 and 4. Again, same format as last time. We each pick 2 matches from each night. We're gonna get in depth on those. The rest, we're just gonna give you have a quick chat and the finishes about those. I should adjust my screen a little better so I can read my notes.
That would probably help us. Yes,
that might help me. So let's get into it. Night 1, we're kicking it off with my pick. It is Jeff Cobb versus Konosuke Takeshita. Again, this match was fire from the hop. The two just smashing into each other. Again, 2 big dudes just smacking the crap out of each other. Cobb tries to suplex Takeshita on the apron, but he slips down the ring and hits his hard forearm, sending Cobb to the floor. And it's a beautiful tope con hilo to Cobb on the floor. Cobb drop kicks Takeshita when he's up on the top rope when they're back in the ring. He climbs up and hits this beautiful super gut wrench suplex for 2. Then he gets up and hits that standing moonsault for 2. Cobb is just, it's unfair. It's not fair.
It's not fair. He's so good.
Yeah. Then later in the match, Takeshita flips through a German, lands on his feet, hits a beautiful poison around, but Cobb comes back with a huge lariat. Both men are down. Takeshita ducks the lariat, hits a huge bridging German, but he only gets 2. He goes for the power drive knee, but is caught into a spin cycle. And then Cobb hitting the Henare special, the Rampage, here. And then drops a huge forearm down on Takeshita's face and gets a 2. Later in the match, Cobb goes for the Blue Thunder Bomb, but Cobb reverses it into a Hurricane Rana. But Takeshita comes back hitting a Blue Thunder Bomb, but Cobb kicks at that 2.9. They start trading hard knees to the face, like jumping knees, just look crazy. Cobb hits a headbutt. Takeshita with a hard forearm to the face and hits the Raging Fire Falcon Arrow for the win. Man, this was incredibly good.
Yeah. Big meaty men slapping meat.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of power moves, a lot of like what I would consider more traditional kind of power wrestling. These guys just took it to each other. But then you got Cobb and that just unnatural, it's not fair athleticism that he has, where it's just like a man that size shouldn't be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy the things he can do. But yeah, good choice. Good choice. I mean, obviously. That poison Rana that Takeshita does. And I ask because I'm not a regular AEW watcher, and I've only recently started watching DDT. Is the poison Rana something that he usually does?
Mm-hmm. That is part of his
Signature moveset?
his signature set in AEW for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious. The
Mm.
just sheer volume of perfection that he does them with, and I've seen this throughout this entire tournament now. It's just so good. The talent that he has and the size. How tall is he again? I keep hearing it, but I keep forgetting the number. 6'3"?
Like 6'3", 6'4", somewhere. Tsuji's like 6'1", 6'2". And like even really think about it, that's not even crazy tall, right? Like you think isn't the
I am 5'3". That is tall to me.
Oh yeah, it's a full foot over you, and it's like I'm only 5'8". I'm barely 5'8". Like I'm on that just touching 5'8".
I feel like
And
that's the average height of men in North America.
and I'm like 6 inches shorter than or 8 inches shorter than this man in Takeshita. It's crazy. Like
It is
it's
very
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. Like, oof. Yeah. Good
And
pick.
then Cobb, just the build that man has to do what he does in that ring, it's just absolutely amazing.
As Kevin Kelly always used to say, it's not fair. Just
It's
to do a
not
standing
fair.
moonsault. Like, I'm flexible. I can do a bridge, no problem. But you ask me to do a freaking standing moonsault, I would end up breaking everything. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like my back, my face, my arms, my neck, everything.
Well, even his drop kick when he drop kicked Takeshita. Well, Takeshita was sitting on the top rope, sitting up top. Cobb
Mhm,
drop kicked him in the midsection. That
mhm.
man was drop kicking over his head, his own head. He was drop kicking over his own head.
I mean, look at his legs, though. Those things they might be, a little short, but those things are just pure freaking power. I mean, again, standing moonsault, the ability to jump to the top rope, over the top rope to drop kick to Takeshita. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the strength that Cobb has it compact in him is just unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy, and just like he's got rockets for legs. It's literally it's got to be. It's like Kevin Knight. There's springs with him. It's rockets. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we move on. second. That was in the B block, BT Dubs. That was the B block match. It didn't happen on
Correct.
night 2. So before we talk about this next match, B block update. It is now has Henare and Uemura in first with 4 points. Then you have also with 4 points. Then you have Takeshita with Takeshita also with 4 points. Cobb, Oleg, Narita, Tsuji, all with 2 points, and then you have Phantasmo, Goto, and Finlay with 0 points.
Okay.
So yeah,
Coolio.
in the B block. So just quick point update. So we go back into the A block now, and we're gonna talk about Zack Sabre Jr. versus Callum Newman. I was so excited for this match. This was my second pick, but I went with the opener because it just hit me that much more because of the craziness of it. This match was absolutely incredible. The end of this match, each man is reversing the finisher of the other. Newman gets an octopus hold on Zack Sabre Jr. That, if you noticed, he waited about 6-7 seconds and then transitioned into the code red for 2. So the man knows that Sabre is going to be able to get out within that time frame. So he's shifting too. And Newman gets a code red for 2. Newman goes for a powerbomb, but Sabre pulls a triangle. Newman lifts him up and still hits him with the powerbomb out of the triangle for 2. But then Sabre grabs the arm in the triangle again, and then he reaches over while holding the triangle on the head and arm, grabs the leg, pulls it in for a heel hook. I'm thinking, oh, is he going to go orienteering? One of his old finishes where he would pull all multiple limbs, which is called orienteering with Napalm Death. But no, he gets the heel hook in, and Newman taps. It's over. And I don't know if it was a physical tap or it was a verbal tap, but man, he was done when Sabre got the leg.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it ended either, and I watched this match a couple times. Just the camera was just not in a place where we could really see officially, kind of for me anyway, how it ended. But this was actually a really fun match. This was also my second pick for the show, just because of how good it was. And I feel it was first of all perfect chemistry mix between these two guys. You got two sassy pants. Callum Newman has been focused, but he has a tendency to be a little sassy, as Zack Sabre Jr. is just 24/7 sassy pants. So to see these two guys get in there and work each other was really, really fun for me. There's this sequence that Callum has become quite efficient at doing, where he feeds a number of strikes, and when he is knocked down, he kips back up and feeds a few more. I really, really like how he does that. It really shows his resiliency, but also shows his, adaptivity. Just goes down, gets right back up instantaneously. Can't keep this guy down. There was also one point where, after a kip up, he fell into a pin on Zack Sabre Jr. after a high kick when they were just so exhausted towards the end of this match. I also felt that Newman showed off his ability to defend against technical and submission style wrestling in this one, while not always being a strong technician or submission guy himself. He really did show his ability to defend against it and still remain in contention. He might have taken a loss on this, but he lasted a lot longer than I would have expected somebody in their first G1 against Zack Sabre Jr. I was
Yeah,
really, really, really impressed with this match.
the fact that he went toe to toe with Sabre in some of those technical exchanges was absolutely tremendous. Yeah, it's just
And I felt that Sabre Jr. also reciprocated in matching Callum and strikes back.
100%.
Yeah, so it was just a very good back and forth match. Like I said, this was also my second choice of match of the night.
So we move on to another A block match. It is Shingo Takagi versus the Great O-Khan. Really good match. Again, Khan working to more of a strike and lariat style match here, working kind of trying to emulate, but I think he's going to have to drop the emulating and just be him soon enough, or this tournament is not going to turn out well for him. Because so far him trying to emulate people has not been good for him. Let's just say that. End of this match comes Shingo reverses the Eliminator into a DDT. Khan goes for another Eliminator, but it gets reversed into a Snapdragon. Shingo hits a sliding lariat, but only gets one. Khan going for the Eliminator again, but gets reversed. Shingo hits a pumping bomber and gets a cradle pin for the win, which really surprised me in how they finish this, but I really liked it. I like seeing these matches where somebody gets a win off of something they don't normally win off of.
I agree. And for these two and the evolution in their feud, I felt that it was actually a really, really great way to help evolve because these guys have been pretty defiant and dominant in their pinning of each other, especially when we were seeing them battle for that KOPW title. Or not them. It was Tai Chi, wasn't it?
No, these two battled for it too. It's tight. It was all three of them had like variations together with like whoever was holding the title at the time
Yeah.
kind of deal. Yeah.
I felt last year, right? 2023 kind of
Mm.
run with that title. The only other thing I wanted to mention in here is that I noticed Shingo doing the sword hammer,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good. It wasn't this little binkety binkety thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't a Yoshihashi where it was a sword mallet. It was a
Or
full sword hammer. I love it.
or it wasn't a butter
Knife,
knife, a butter
knife
knife.
spoon, knifey spoony.
A, it was not a butter knife spoon like Tangaloa's been doing, but
Oh, yeah. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you watch that product, I mean, he was pretty decent here. I don't know what we sent you.
there's a few of
I
those
said
sword
pretty
hammers that are pretty
decent.
rough. There's a few of those sword hammers that even in here were pretty rough. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like I said, for the most part, we
mm.
we we had the best of Tongaloa. I'm sorry. You're kind of getting
I
the
think the best thing for him was the fact that he was hidden. So him and his brother's tag team kind of was actually the best thing for him is that he didn't have to work a whole match because his singles run was not bad but not great in New Japan. So
we're not even gonna say it was good. It was rough. It was
yeah.
rough. Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to see the sword hammer still alive.
Very much so. So we move on to Melball's pick. It is Gabe
Yes.
Kidd versus Shota Umino. Their talk. Oh, and like ELP on commentary was absolutely phenomenal on this show. I think he gave such
Yes.
backstory and knowing a lot of these guys, especially like Kidd and Umino, who he worked with in LA when he would work out at the dojo there. Again, like
Shout
it's
out ELP. We
yeah,
love you here.
he did a great job. Yeah, a lot of history here from these two from the LA dojo training together, coming
Mhm.
up there together. A kid ends up stopping the final beat DDT over the top rope DDT into the ring, and he ends up biting the forehead at Umino, and then he hits a backdrop suplex, and then chops Umino, and is like choking him in the corner. Just the utter rage was amazing. Um,
Yes.
Shota, they're later in the match. I'm only gonna go through a few things here. They're later in the match. They're striking each other on their knees. They fight up to their feet at center. Kid drops Umino with this beautiful lariat, but only gets one. Then Umino comes back with an exploder into another exploder, and then Kid hits a lariat, and then into Umino hitting a snapdragon, and then hits a rolling forearm. But the Kid kicks out at two. Just incredible sequences with these two.
Mhm.
And then we get down to the end of the match, and both men are reversing everything the other had. Just reversal. Kid gets him in the pile driver, drops him, but Umino kicks out of that 2.9999, like just barely survives. So Kid falls over this hard elbow to the face of Umino, and he gets this like lion tamer, like Chris Jericho style lion, like old school Jericho lion tamer on, and the angle when he's just like wrenching down on it, then he lets it go and just gets a gut wrench power bomb for the win, which I was just like, yes, let's go. Again,
Yeah.
another different finish, which I liked.
What I loved about this and what I've loved about Gabe Kidd's run in the G1 so far is almost every match we're seeing a different kind and style of Gabe Kidd. He changes himself, alters himself to match whoever he's fighting. And we knew this was going to be an intense battle with Shota, and man, did he come out intense. He wasn't beacon to the crowd like he usually was. He was actually pretty focused, pretty intensified on Shota Umino. He didn't take his eyes off of him from the moment he was at ringside, the moment he was in the ring. It was oddly and scarily enough the calmest we have seen Gabe Kidd when he comes through those curtains. And now we realize that that's something we need to fear about this man. We don't need to fear him coming out hyped up, throwing things around, throwing the children, throwing whatever. We need to worry about Gabe Kidd, who comes out, who's not acting like Gabe Kidd. He was war ready for this match. Holy shit. This was a very strong style match for me. Very much UK strong style. There was a lot more strikes and heavy strikes. European uppercuts galore, and both these men tremendous at them. Yeah, Kid putting Umino in the Boston Crab was just a big middle finger, essentially, to Umino. Yeah, the chemistry these two men had was just palatable. It was insane how good these two mixed. And this was actually, for me, the best that I've felt about Umino in a while. I've been pretty hard on him since coming back because he wasn't really emulating anybody or when he was emulating everybody but himself. And now we're starting to finally see the development of who it is that Shota Umino is going to be. I do wish, though, that he was at 100% for this match. Because as good as this match was, could you imagine how much better it would have been, which is hard to imagine, if Shota Umino was legitimately at 100%? Because he says he's at 100%, but we
Is he
know.
really?
Yeah, like, are we though? But man, oh man, oh man, have we been sleeping on Gabe Kidd? I mean, I've been a fan of this guy since I saw him, since before he joined the War Dogs. I knew he was a great talent, but we weren't seeing, I think, the potential of what it was that he was capable of doing. Putting him on the War Dogs and just sicking him loose on the wrestling world has been the absolute best thing, not just for the War Dogs, but for Gabe Kidd, because now we get this feral, unhinged insanity that can be toned down or up depending on who he's facing. And he has banger after banger after banger after banger. Like, I am so impressed with his G1 run. I'm kind of wishing I picked him to take it because man, oh man, my pick ain't doing so hot.
Yeah.
I'm getting kented.
My pick's doing great so far of everything I've watched. So
Can't relate.
oh, yeah. Anything else on this one? Or are we good?
No, just this was great. This was freaking great. If you want a great representation of strong style wrestling, particularly UK strong style, Butzinga.
We move on to Sanada versus Evil, battle of the former tag team partners. And Melball, do you want to explain to everybody the opening part of the pre-match shenanigans?
Oh yeah. I didn't write it down, so I'm gonna go best to my memory. There was a talking to happening between Togo and Evil and Mr. Sanada there, where they had thought that they had convinced Sanada to join House of Torture. He put on the House of Torture shirt and everything. It looked atrocious on him. You know, it was a sad day. It was a sad day. We cried a little. We didn't cry a little because
I didn't.
you know, it could have been a good thing though.
What?
Could
Maybe
you
would have brought some
imagine?
charisma out in the guy.
They brought it out in Luke Perry. They brought it out in Red Narita.
Luke Perry?
Oh, the Perry thing.
Jack Perry, come on.
The child Perry.
Yeah,
We'll call them Child Perry. Sorry, Mr. Luke, R.I.P. Dearly
yeah.
beloved.
So no Sanada and House of Torture. So the
No.
end of this match comes. Lots of the ref got taken out. Evil hits Darkness, falls for 2. Sanada stops everything is evil and gets Evil up onto the ropes, hits a magic screw. He kips up, hits the rounding body press, but can only get 2. Evil stops Deadfall, but Sanada stops everything evil into everything is Sanada and hits a plancha to Togo on the floor. He comes back in Shining Wizard, but Evil ends up tossing the ref into Sanada and gets the low blow on Sanada. And I have to say, the move that he hit, I know it as the parachute of local independent wrestler Chris Parrish's finisher right here, where he grabbed the face and he drives it into the ground and he gets the win. Yeah, went with a parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's not his finish. This was the night of winning with not your finish.
Right?
Yeah.
It was very interesting. Has it like they've kind of been doing that. I don't mind it. I actually really enjoy it. It's just odd that it's all happening on one night. Spread that ish out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot to say on this after the shenanigans at the beginning were the most interesting part to me.
Mm-hmm.
Evil has been a really odd duck for me in the G1 because his matches aren't as horrible as they usually are, which is improvement for me. Yeah. It's odd that I don't have anything bad to say about Evil.
Because there was never there wasn't anything insanely offensive with this match though. It just wasn't
Yeah.
anything. It was it was a fine match between the two, is what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a grudge match, which I would expect these two to potentially, have given their history. It was just a straight up good wrestling match with some shenanigans. And not even like horrible shenanigans. They were shenanigans that made sense.
Yeah,
Gato's fixing it.
yeah. I don't know. Just yeah. We move on. Main event of the evening, and it is the champion Tetsuya Naito versus Jake Lee from the War Dogs.
Mhm.
This wasn't a bad match, but it just felt like it never hit that next gear. Like they ramped it like up from first into second, got it into third, but then we're trying to rev up to get up to another gear, but just never quite got there for me personally in this match. I don't know what it was. It was a good match, nothing wrong with it. Just
Yeah, for me, this is the second time I've seen these two in a one-on-one capacity,
mm,
and it just didn't quite reach the same pinnacle that it reached the first time for me.
mm.
That being said, like I enjoyed it. It was a little
Yeah.
scary because Naito was really getting his butt kicked throughout a lot of it. Lee was very, very dominant
Mm,
throughout most of this match. To see the IWGP World Champion kind of being turned into a rag doll so much was very, very concerning. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There was a certain level that just wasn't
achieved.
reached. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were having problems shifting gears.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get to the end here. Naito gets
Mm.
out of a choke slam. He hits a kick to the head. Gets a running Destino, but doesn't quite get it all. Naito puts Lee up top, but Lee slips out. But Naito gets out of the power bomb. But Lee hits him with strikes. It's a backdrop suplex. He gets Naito in the corner, goes for the face break shot, but he misses. Naito hits forearms at center. Then the enziguri, but Lee comes back with shots and a kick to the head. He goes for the chokeslam, but Naito reverses it into a kind of like half Destino and gets the win. And
Yeah, the Destino was weird.
And I was just like, oh, usually when he hits that like half Destino, he never wins off of it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that it's part of the finish. It was the way the finish ended. I'm like, oh, okay. But again, yeah. And then Leah's just pissed as he's leaving. Like, he is pissed.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. It's been very fun to watch Jake Lee in this tournament, though, because there are some people that he just walks all over. And then there's some people like Naito where he just struggles after he's walked all over them. It's very interesting to see the dynamic. That being said, I mean, appropriate name, Smart Bastard. He is pretty smart. He wasn't so smart against Evil, but
No.
like, you know, it was 2 brain cells. Well, not 2 brain cells. Maybe Evil just had the 1, and Togo let him have it. I don't know. But yeah, a very interesting main event. Very interesting way to end it. But yeah, don't have anything else to say on this one.
So yeah, so A block after an 8-3, you have Zack Sabre Jr. and Evil on top with 6 points each, 3-0. Then you have Takagi and Gabe Kidd each with 4 points. Then you have Jake Lee, Callum Newman, Sanada, Shota Umino, and Tetsuya Naito all with 2 points. And then Great Khan with his trying to match his opponent's stuff with 0 points in last place. It's just like, maybe you have to change up that game plan and start just doing your own thing, bro.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please.
So we move on to night number 4. We kick it off with Hirooki Goto, the oldest man in the block, taking on Boltin Oleg, the least experienced man in the block. Let's say that, because he's not the youngest, that's for sure. Boltin using his size just ragdolling Goto around in this match. That's really what the story of this was Goto trying to fight back to Boltin Oleg's size. Then towards the end of this match, Boltin with the Singer Splash and the Boltin Bomb, which is also known as the Vader Bomb, for 2. Boltin gets him up, but Goto slips off the shoulders into the sleeper, getting Boltin down. But Boltin catches the kick, gets Goto up, and hits a Miramare shock for 2. Goto slips out of the kamikaze into the rear naked choke and gets him into a crucifix pin for 2. Goto hits a huge headbutt, dropping Boltin, and hits him with a PK, follows it up with a GTR for the win.
Yeah. Big boy Boltin, yeah, as you've said, really yeeting around Goto in this one quite a bit. I was really concerned. I was like, wow, I think Bolton's going to pick up a win over him, but that experience of Goto just freaking came out of nowhere and put Boltin down. Like I said, I thought Boltin was going to steamroll right through Goto, especially the way he was just tossing him. And then the way he was able to just kind of always be ready, just kind of almost creeping around him, just ready to pounce on him. That amateur background that Boltin has, really, really helpful in this G1. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to this one. This was a really fun way to kick off the block.
Yeah, again, strong opener to the show. I'm more and more impressed with everything Bolton's doing, and just being able to hang with these guys who are just consummate pros, and he's able to just he looks like $1 million in there, man. He really does.
He does, especially with that new gear, that whole new look, the new music. Yes, graduated.
Yep.
Yes.
So we move on to my runner-up match of the night: Jeff Cobb versus Ren Narita. Because Ren Narita has been having great performances.
Runner-up too.
Ren Narita's been having insanely great performances in this tournament. I'm insanely impressed with this dude. He has a bit of his cheating stuff, but he does it. It's not as much as Evil, and it's all on his own. Like, he's doing all of his own cheating for himself. So we get to the end of this match, and Rita goes to the top, but misses Cobb, misses off the top. And Cobb hits a straight right, just dropping Narita. But Narita comes back, kicking up the knee, but Cobb comes back, gets it on his shoulders, hits an F5000 for a 2 count. Narita grabs the ref, stopping Tour of the Islands, and he ends up running Cobb into the ref. Cobb stops the push-up bar attack and tosses Narita away, and he has the push-up bar. He goes to attack Narita with it, but Narita throws Marty Asami in the way. Marty takes the push-up bar, goes to the corner. Narita gets the low blow, kick to the head, and the double cross for the win.
So rude.
So rude.
So rude.
So rude.
Wasn't this where Marty did have to like pretty much dive up and climb up and rip away the push-up bar from Narita? Like,
Yeah.
you know, we need to appreciate these refs. And NJPW got Marty Asadi, who usually gets yeeted around himself, getting in there to defend Cobb. You got Red Shoes.
That was the steel chair. That was the steel chair. He literally jumped on Narita's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got these great refs. I mean, remember Red Shoes using that part of the table as like a Captain America shield against evil?
Yeah.
You got great refs over in NJPW. I enjoyed how desperate Narita was. Because I believe at this point, Callum Newman is on commentary.
Yeah, so night 2, Callum Newman actually joined the commentary booth, and I thought, again, did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree. The banter he had with Walker back and forth was very, very good. Very, very good. But I brought that up because we saw Narita come out, and then we saw Narita take off. And I remember Callum going like, "Oh, going for a jog there. Piss off then. Okay." Coming up behind and jumping Jeff Cobb as he's coming out into the auditorium. Very, very smart. And again, as you said, all on his own. He's not relying on Dick Togo. He's not relying on Yoshinobu Kanemaru. He's doing silly shit on his own. What was the head movement for?
Well, I actually thought it was Sho at first that was running up to attack him Cobb from behind, but then I realized, oh no, it's Narita.
No, it was Narita.
Yeah.
What I thought was great about that also is that it only momentarily dazed Cobb before Cobb yeeted Narita into the chairs, which was great. The only other thing that I thought was hilarious in this was the surfing. Is it the Hawaiian massage club?
The Alohan, Hawaiian massage club, Alohan surf club, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, doing all the hand signals and the thingy on the whatever. I love that. It was so funny. And poor Narita just sitting there like having his back pelvis broken by the big man standing on him. I loved it. This was a really fun match. A little disappointed that Cobb didn't win, but I'm not gonna be mad if Ren Narita challenges for the TV title. I think that'd be a great match. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. So we're gonna move on to ELPL Phantasmo versus Yota Tsuji. Again, really strong match with DC. Like ELP really trying to come back in this tournament here. Like, he's already lost the first 2, so you can see he's kind of having like almost like kind of depressed here. And like I loved Jado throughout the match yelling to him and trying to help him and like telling him what to do next, and like just playing the coach and like really trying to fire his guy up. I thought was just phenomenal for ELP to help really build up this dude in this match. Towards the end of this match, ELP jumps over a Gene Blaster attempt, hits sudden death super kick, then hits the CR2, the second Canadian Revolution. But he is delayed on getting the pin, and Yota Tsuji kicks out at 2. Tsuji ends up kicking ELP when he's up top. He goes up, but ELP knocks him back down to the mat. But Tsuji gets the knees up on Thunder Kiss 86. Goes for the small package, but you can see ELP shoved them back over a little bit. So ELP's on top for the small package. 1, 2, 3. ELP gets the win. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes, yes. It was nice to see him pick up a win. It sucks that it was against my pick
Mm-hmm.
to win, but it it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy that we're seeing this story because it's the one story that I think I'm really invested in this G1 that I want to see that Cinderella ending
Mm-hmm.
happen. Um, I'm curious to see how it kind of plays off and plays out because like I said, you can hear like on the commentary the night before, he did great on commentary, absolutely great. But you could hear him several times. He would get sad and he'd be like, I'm sad, sad man. It has become a bit of a focal point, I think, for the G1.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing that I wanted to mention is that Tsuji working really smart in this one, really targeting the injured knee of ELP early on to try to capitalize on taking that aerial kind of acrobatics away from ELP. As we could see, it didn't matter. He still got the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just
really.
noticed my lipstick matches the blue on the G1 logo.
There you go. The G1
G1
princess herself.
cerulean blue.
The G1 princess herself.
Yes.
We move on to my pick of the show.
Ooh.
It is Henare versus David Finlay, champion versus champion. So they're smashing each other early. Finlay ends up like grabbing the belt, like Hanare's belt when he's on the floor, spits on his stamps, and so Henare chases him. They end up back in the ring. They're brawling. And when they get apart, Finlay spits at Henare, and then they continue to brawl, and Finlay lariats them both over to the floor. He starts running Henare into the barricade, hitting the English announce desk, which they're like, come on, man. I love the reactions, like just getting mad at Finlay. It was great. Then Finlay comes
Well, yeah,
over.
because Callum's on
Yeah.
on commentary at this point, and he's kind of got beef with Finlay as it is.
Well, yeah, War Dog versus UE stuff here, right?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't he spit on Callum?
He flipped him off.
Oh, I thought he spit on him.
No,
I'm
he
glad he
went for the
flipped him off and
he,
didn't spit on him.
he went for like a high five. Newman went like this to him to do like the UE thing, and Finlay just went at him. Like, so yeah.
Oh, many a meme has come out of David Finlay flipping people off.
So Finlay literally picks up Henare and tosses him into the ring post, like hip first. I was like, ow. Then he like poses with his belt, calling himself the real champion. Finlay like back in the ring later in the match. Finlay smashing Henare into the corner, but Henare fires up and starts smashing his own head into the corner. But then Finlay starts brawling with him more. But Henare comes back, gets him up on his shoulders with the Mahari drop, Henare or the Samoan drop, whatever you want to call it.
Are you saying
Henare
the Maori?
Maori, that's it, Maori. The Maori drop, but or Samoan drop, whatever you want to call it. Henare attacking in the corner, gets him on his shoulders, hits the Wade Barrett wasteland where he just takes him on his shoulders and slams him in front of him, and then hits. Like you can see him like just slams him, and he's like adjusts himself, and then he hits the senton. I was like, ha ha. Yeah, and he gets 2. He follows it with a PK and a berserker bomb for 2. The great liver punch by Henare in this. It looked great.
Mhm.
They're trading elbows to the face at one point. Henare hits a spin kick to the head, but Finlay comes back with repeated rolling elbows, gets a 1 count, then picks him up and hits him with just devastating looking Dominator for 2. The end of this match, though, Finlay ends up rolls Henare up on a Streets of Rage attempt for 2. Then Henare comes back with a huge headbutt. And then he comes running at Finlay. Finlay catches him, lifts him up for the suplex, and then bang, overkill. And Finlay picks up the win. Again, amazing matches you had.
Yes, yes. This was a all out brawl at some points. These guys like each other, and I love it. Create some great intensity, some great intense matches. Um, Yeah, I liked the work that Finlay was doing with the championship, baiting Henare into things, baiting him outside, working in Callum at the ringside. I really, really enjoy what we're seeing David Finlay kind of evolving into, where he went from being this like angry, pissy, kind of almost directionless, we'll say, leader to begin with in the formation of the War Dogs, and then we watched him really kind of quietly solidify the faction, seeing Drilla and Connors being the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, seeing Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin being tag champions as well. He himself was never open champion for a little bit, wasn't he?
I think so. I
I
could be
feel like
wrong.
he was, but it was like it wasn't what I would consider a whelming
Hmm.
title run.
Hmm.
Um, he's kind of been a little quiet, kind of sitting in the shadows for a little bit, and then this feud with Will Ospreay and John Moxley and the chasing of the global title and Nick Nemeth. This has kind of brought out the aggressive side of Finlay again, which I'm kind of like really enjoying this kind of aggressive Finlay because unlike the beginning of Finlay as this War Dog leader where he just didn't feel like he had any direction, now he has a very clear, definitive direction and he knows what way he's going and he knows how he's going to get there. He's just going to plow through everybody. And it's kind of working. It's a strategy that's working really, really well for him. I'm excited about what the rest of the G1's going to look like for him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like because again, Finley's someone I'm expecting. I said he was in my top three coming out of the B block. He's like I expect him to do really well in this block, and
Hmm.
yeah, he's having a nice tournament so far. So
Agreed.
yeah. So we move on to the main event and Melball's pick. It is Yuya Uemura versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Did we
So
ever think that I would have Yuya Uemura really in my pick?
I said that last show, and I had a Uemura pick in my show. Like it's kind of
Right.
crazy. Um, the Takeshita fights, fighting back from Uemura early on in the match. Since but Uemura ends up sending Takeshita out, skins the cat back in, but Takeshita ends up kicking Uemura as he's like punching Uemura is going for a planche, and he just like flops onto the floor.
So
Um,
brutal.
Sakesh takes him to the ramp. It hits this like sick brainbuster. It looked really good. Um, Later in the match, Uemura's bulldog is stopped, but Takeshita can't get the backdrop. Uemura flips around and gets a backdrop suplex. Uemura goes to the top, but gets cut off, and Takeshita hits a super stalling. Like he gets him while standing on the top rope. He lifts Uemura up while standing straight up on the top rope. Has Uemura up on the rope. He's still standing on the top rope. Waits a couple seconds, then falls back into the ring. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I blame Tsuji
Yeah.
for all that mess on the first night because obviously it obviously wasn't his fault. It's obviously Tsuji because he did this great here with Uemura. It's just beautiful superplex or Stolly superplex. They eventually get up. Takeshita sends him to the floor and hits a beautiful tope con hilo. Just picture perfect. Later in the match, huge strikes from both. Takeshita hits a boot and the poison round up at Uemura right back with a German, but Takeshita right back with a lariat. The Uemura comes right back with a drop kick, and then both men are down. It's incredible sequence. And then the end of this match, Uemura slams him at Takeshita at center. This is a little bit later in the match. Goes up to the top, hits the frog splash, only gets two. Uemura lifts him into the deadbolt position, but gets reversed into a wheelbarrow suplex. Looked phenomenal. Uemura catches Takeshita into a backslide into the deadbolt position. This is where Takeshita's like, oh crap, I'm caught. And just starts throwing headbutts to the chest of Uemura. Uemura is not having anything of it. Runs him into the corner. Dead block, dead bolt suplex out. with the bridge for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and the win. Again, absolutely incredible main event.
And at that 1, 2, 3, Takeshita's still kicking. He just didn't have the force to kick out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is not something that I thought I would say about Yuya Uemura, but like I've always said that he does have this kind of traditional perfectionistic kind of tendency to him that tends to affect his speed. So because he's like, what I mean by that is because he's so focused on doing the move properly, he will slow down the move to a point where it doesn't always look good. That was not the case in this match. We had what I would consider one of the most picture perfect matches I think I've ever seen in NJPW. There were no slips, there were no hiccups, there was no nothing. It was just a picture perfect, strong style match. Holy heckin' crap. Like, I knew Takeshita was that damn good. But to be able to pull it out of Yuya Uemura, and in such an effortless way that it almost seemed like, hi, hello, it's always been there. This is the Yuya Uemura I need to always see because we've seen certain people get into the ring with certain people in this G1 and they just give something to their opponent that makes the opponent better because of it. We've seen personality come out of Sanada. We've seen now charisma and just pure workmanship come out of Yuya Uemura. I am so impressed with what these two were able to do. Like, goddamn. Goddamn. What a
Mm-hmm.
way to end the show. It was a perfect place in the match or in the show too, because there were so many like the matches in this one flowed. There was a high and a low and a high and a low, and this was a high end for this G1. Oh, frackety fracking good. If you're a Takeshita fan, highly recommend checking out this match if you haven't already. Goddamn. So
Mm-hmm.
good.
Such a good match. Such a phenomenal match. So I'm going to quickly give you a point update for the B block. Alone in first place with 6 points is Yuya Uemura. Yeah.
Who'd have thought that?
No. And then in second place with 4 points, you've got Henare, Konosuke Takeshita, and Ren Narita. Then everyone else, Jeff Cobb, Boltin Oleg, Yota Tsuji, El Phantasmo, Hirooki Goto, and David Finlay, all with 2 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would have thought that that's what the standings would be at
I
this
didn't.
point?
I sure
I
didn't.
no, not at all. This tournament has been hokey dokey,
Mm-hmm.
dokey chokey,
Hokey dokey. Okay, interesting.
okey dokey dokey chokey.
But hokey dokey. Okay.
It's a yeah, hokey, hokey dokey chokey.
Well, we have come to the end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. You can
Did
find
you do
me.
both A and B block?
Yeah.
I only heard one.
Oh, I
Mm.
I updated A block when we finished the last
Oh,
show.
right before. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. No worries, no worries. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of another episode. You can find me on the X at that Canada guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada dude. You can also find me on Facebook at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. Or on our YouTube page, youtube.com at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find me over in the comment section on BAM Weekly, which will have a new name fairly soon, and our audio will be going to their podcast feed when that gets started in the next couple weeks or so. We're going to be having that starting up soon. And also, you can find us over at twitch.tv/our local establishment and youtube.com/our local establishment. You can find us every Friday for the Japanese wrestling update, talking about all the goings on in professional wrestlings and all the things that we do and we talk about and all those fun little things. And then you can find me this Wednesday over on OLE, as we have a special Marvel talk coming, talking about the Marvel Hall H panel. We're going to talk about that and all the future of Marvel and what Robert Downey Jr. is going to be doing in the MCU going forward. Lots and lots and lots to talk about. So check us out this Wednesday. And we'll be back with because we delayed our show last week from last Wednesday where I was supposed to do Ant-Man, but I wasn't feeling well, so we didn't end up doing that, and that'll come in a couple weeks. But yeah, we got our Hall H Marvel Talk special coming this Wednesday. I want to give also a big shout out to our boy Mike the Ref for Backbreaker video right up there for simulcasting all their stuff. If you want to see all his wrestling content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker video. If you want to see his live content, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. You can see him doing AEW watch songs every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Sunday. You can also find him there pretty much every other day of the week, playing video games and all that stuff. If you want to read please with gaming content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. You can find content from him, Mr. PJC, this guy right here, Mr. Rick Jules, and therefore you go ahead and guest.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Yes, we do. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not. And we will let you know via social media. This week, I don't think we have anything going on. We do not have any wrestling going on in Edmonton this weekend. So we are going to be live at 8 p.m. And boy, howdy, do we have a lot of ish to talk about. So make sure you stop by and throw in your comments and 2 cents about what's going on in the world of Japanese wrestling, because it's extensive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Extensive. You can also catch me on. No, it's extensive, not expansive.
No, I said extensive.
Extensive. You can also find me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're going to try to get out an episode this week, which will also most likely come out on Friday before Japanese Wrestling Update. But we will announce that on social media, so stay tuned to hear when that is going on. Love that, Astrid. Love that, Natural. And congratulations to Astrid on getting her promotion at work. Yas. Love that girl. She's worked so hard. She gonna get more money. She gonna have more freedom. She's finally doing the things that she wants to do. And we couldn't be prouder of her over here at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wanting to watch some New Japan Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen?
1,250 yen.
1,250 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. But no, it's actually more like 1450. 1450 Canadian. But we still like to shout out Sean Spears here because he's amazing. Still a great price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. Immediate distraction. It's still a great price to watch some amazing wrestling. And if you go there, you can watch all of the NJPW World TV title matches for free. So you can watch all of Zack Sabre Jr.'s impressive run last year. You can watch how Jeff Cobb was able to dethrone him. That's the right word. I was going to say unthrone him. That'd be a very odd thing to do. Yeah, all that and more. NJPWworld.com. Andre. My trusted friend and colleague. Do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Do I?
Do you?
Do I?
The beautiful people. The beautiful people.
Da-na-na. I just want to say thank you for tuning in here. We really do appreciate you joining us here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to all your friends, family, and those that are too hot to handle. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
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 Hello. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.